Hello, all of my crafty friends. Thank you so much for joining me back on my channel. Welcome everyone to Pretty Pink Craft Room. I'm so excited to jump in and share with you guys what I have recently created. You may have heard me say before in some recent videos that I am really focusing a lot on trying to use up my paper stash, trying to find different ways to quickly create projects that can use up those leftover supplies, those leftover pieces of paper, loan sheets that, I want to use up. I wanted to find a way to make something, create something that was nice and that can truly be given to someone as a gift or, just something to keep as something beautiful to create that you have created that you want to keep around. So this is what I've recently come up with. It is a one sheet wonder. Kind of, and I'll explain that in a few moments, but it turns into a 6-pocket pocket journal. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is the first one that I created, and this was scraps of a summer packet of paper that I had that I was not using, chipboard pieces that I had not used, stickers that I had not used, and I wanted to find a way to use them and incorporate them into a project. So this is the first one. So the whole project measures 5 by 6. Yes, 5 by 6. And it's 6 pockets that come out of this. And again, it's a one sheet wonder, kind of. And we'll get into that. So this is the front pocket. And I just put tags in each of these pockets. So this is the front pocket. I want to make sure I stay in frame. That's the front one. This is the middle one. And then this is the very last one. Not the very last one. I should say just the back one here. So of course these can all be used for, photos or journaling. I'm thinking more so journaling spots that they can be used for. Then on the side, there is a pocket here. There is a pocket here. So that's already 5 pockets. And then when you flip it over, there is a large pocket here that I've also put some journaling cards, some areas for more journaling, and another large journaling card here. So this is full of so many different things and areas for journaling. And again, this was all from a one sheet wonder that I'll show you how we created or how I created in a few moments. So I got so excited from doing this, and I'll put this back together after the video, but I got so excited that I kept going. So I made another one, and it's the same thing, same design with the 6 pockets. There's a pocket here. There's a pocket here. I won't pull all of them out so that I don't have to keep pulling things and putting them back. So that was 2. This is the 3rd pocket at the back. Then there's the 2 pockets here on the side. And of course, there is the large pocket on the back where I put in even more items or more journaling cards and areas for that purpose. So all of that is there at the back. And as you can see, I'm using the ephemera. I'm using the tags from the paper pack. I'm using the chipboard stickers. I'm using as much as I can, because again, all of this was left over and I really wanted to find a way to incorporate them into a project and use up those supplies. So I love the way these turned out. I think they are awesome as little pocket journals, and it's just really cool and really fun. So I didn't stop there, but I kept going and made another one. So I'll show that one too. So this one was made with a different style of paper. So instead of the summer theme, I pulled out another couple sheets of paper that I had left over from a paper pack that I previously used. I had some ephemera left over. I had, all kinds of things left over that I wanted to figure out how I could incorporate into this project too. So I did the same thing. I created the 6 pockets. This is the front pocket. This is the middle pocket. And this is the back pocket. For this one, I also brought in some lace that I had in my stash. I brought in some other stickers, some pearl enamel dots, some other enamel dots that I have there, and I just used it to create the cover here. And then, of course, on the back, there is this larger pocket, and I used one of the envelopes that was part of the paper pack, and inside I just put some extra journaling sheets there. There's a tag here at the back, and then there's even some larger journaling sheet there that I added at the back too. So again, another way for me to use up my scraps, and I just think, you know, of course, these are coming out really good, and they're still kind of flat. There's only dimension to it because I'm elevating or adding layers to the front of how I'm decorating it. But as you'll see when we create one together, it's completely flat. Even when you add in the tags into the pockets, it's still very flat. So it can qualify as flat mail. Again, mine is just a little bulkier because I'm choosing to elevate this ephemera that I have on the front. So if that interests you, if you would like to create one with me, I hope you will stick around and craft with me. So sorry, everyone. I thought my phone was recording. It was not, and I did the cutting without you, and so I want to come back and put the papers together so you can see exactly what I did. I do apologize for that. So basically, this was our 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And actually, let me see if I can zoom out a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, so hopefully that's a bit better. So this was our 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and all I did was I cut 3 strips, one at 3 by 12, one at 4 by 12, and one at 5 by 12. So this was the one that I wanted to be my 3 by 12 because that's the very front of the project. So I'm going to use this as my 3 by 12, 4 by 12, 5 by 12. So it's the 3 strips that come from the full 12 by 12 sheet of paper. But I kept saying that it's kind of a one sheet wonder because although this is a different pattern all over the sheet and there's a lot of collaging here that I really, really love, I still want to bring in another pattern altogether to make the project, to make certain things stand out when I create the project. So I'm going to swap this 5 by 12 strip and I'm going to bring in this 5 by 12 strip. So if you don't want your sheet to be, or your project to be super matchy with the same one sheet, just swap out the strips for what you want to be shown in your project. You can interchange those strips out with other patterns if you want to see them in your project. So ultimately this still comes out to 3 by 12, 4 by 12, and 5 by 12. So that's what we missed when I thought my phone was recording and it was not. So these 2 strips, the 4 by 12 and the 5 by 12, I'm going to set them to the side for a moment. This 3 by 12, I'm going to do one more cut on it. And I'm going to just bring back in my cutting board. And I'm just going to cut it down by 7. So I just cut it down, and so now it is measured 3 by 7. 3 by 7. This piece I don't want to discard. I am going to use this piece. So this is still my 3 inch by 7 strip of paper. So now we're going to do some scoring. So I'll bring in my scoreboard, and let's start with my 3 inch piece here. So on my 3 inch piece, and I still have paper left over here from other projects. Okay, so on my 3, this is my 3 by 7 piece, and I am going to score that at 5. So I did a score, just one score, and so this is actually going to fold up. And let me see, do I have my paper punch here? Oh, it's close by. Okay. And I'm going to round these corners because I tend to forget to round corners. So this is my 3 by 7, and I scored at 2 inches and created a little pocket in the front. So I'll put that to the side. Now let's bring in our 4 by 12 sheet. So this is our sheet that measures out 4 by 12. And I'm going to do 3 scores on it. So I'm going to turn it to the 12-inch side, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. I'm going to score at 6, and then I'm going to score at 11.5. So I did, again, just 1/2 inch, 6, and 11.5. So I'm going to fold at the 6 inch, like so. And then these 2 flaps, these are our 2 1/2-inch panels. One I'm going to fold under the first sheet, and then the second one I'm going to fold under the back part. So it should look like this when you're done with the folding. Let me just crease these. And there that goes. So that's our 4 sheet. Okay, and then our last sheet, which was our 5 by 12, I'm only going to score 1 time at 6 inches. And then I'll fold this up like so. So, and that's pretty much it. That's all the scoring. That's all the cutting to create this cute little project. So let's put it all together now. So let's start with the biggest piece, which was our 5 by 12 that we scored in half at 6. And so all we're going to do is we're going to create a pocket up top. So I'm just going to glue down my sides. Just apply glue, a strip of glue on both of the edges here, the left and the right edge. And then that creates a top pocket. And there we go. So now I have a top pocket and my opening is at the top, like right here. Let me give that glue a little bit more time to settle. Okay, so now let's bring in our 4 by 12 that we did several scores on. We did a score in the middle, and then we have these 2 1/2-inch flaps here. What I'm going to do, because these are ultimately going to help create my pockets, I'm just going to miter these edges so that the paper that I slip in can go in a little bit easier. So I'm going to do, I just cut off these 2 little corners here, and I'm going to do the same thing on the back. Okay, so now we have these here, and I'm just going to use my little mat here to try to help me stay even, because I'm just trying to make sure I line this up in the right way. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to glue it in this way. We're going to apply glue here, here, and here. So it's creating a pocket that's side loading. So you're going to apply glue here, here, and here. So to help me, I always try to put my hands where I'm not supposed to glue, because I end up gluing in the wrong place all the time. And then that's how my hand gets full of glue, because I'm having to remove glue all the time because of that. So I'm just trying to even this out, center it, make it easy. The dots kind of help me stay straight too. Let me just make sure it's straight before the glue settles. Okay, I think that's pretty straight. Okay, so now you can see, if I open this up, you can see this is your other pocket here, and the glue still needs time to settle. Let me give it more time. So this is your one pocket right here. So then you're going to do the same thing with this flap here. You're going to glue here and here, but since it already has a closing, you don't have to glue there. So it's here and here, and then you'll have a second pocket. You could also, just as a tip, I won't do it now, but if you wanted to make the pocket, one pocket on this side, one pocket on this side, you could choose to glue on this edge here, and this edge, and then you'd have a side loading pocket here and then a side loading pocket on that side too. I'm not going to do that, but I just wanted to, it's just something that came to me and I wanted to point it out in case you wanted to create even more variety with your project. Okay, so now I have a pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket there. So that's 3 pockets. Okay, so then I'm going to add this sheet here, and I'm going to first glue this little pocket down. So this makes my very front pocket. And then this also it's going to create another pocket. So I'm only going to glue on the 3 sides like so. And then I'll do my best to try to center this and stay in frame at the same time. That looks kind of straight. Let me hold it up so I can see it better. Okay, perfect. So let me give that glue a little bit more time to settle. Okay, so now we have a top pocket here, top loading pocket. We have 2 side loading pockets here, 1 and then 2. Then we have another top loading pocket here, and then another top loading pocket down here, smaller one. So now when we flip it over, now we're bringing back in that piece that we had cut down. Remember, we had the 3 by 12 inch strip and we cut it down at 7. That left us with a piece that was 5 inches, and that's what we're going to use as our back pocket here. So I'm going to just apply glue on 3 sides and then apply this here. And I mean, it doesn't bother me that the wording is going to the side. I kind of think that's pretty cool. But of course, if it bothers you, then you may want to choose to use non-directional paper so that you don't have to worry about the printing going, you know, which way, this way and that. But this is the base of the project, you guys. This is pretty much it, and you can see how flat it is, but it has the 6 pockets. So I'm going to work on decorating this project, and then I'll be back to show you my final project. And here is our completed decorated project. So again, I used the scraps I had in my stash from the paper pack. Used the stickers, the ephemera, the chipboard stickers, more stickers. I had some adhesive brads in my stash, so I used those too. So in the front we have this pocket, and I didn't give you the measurements of this pocket. I'll give them to you, but please know that, you know, it may adjust based on how tight your pocket is. You know, if the glue spread and it created a tight pocket, it may be more it may have to be smaller. So this pocket is 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. So that one goes here. And again, that's a brad. And then this one has the longer pocket, and it has the 2 brads there. And this one measures 2 3/8 by, let me get that right, 5 5/8. So it's so that it can fit here. And then the larger pocket in the back, that one measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I just added some ephemera up top so that could add as the pull tab to pull it in and out of the pocket. So that goes back there. And then we have our 2 side pockets here. And this piece measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. And that one is the back pocket. And then the front pocket is a bit smaller, and that one measures 4 1/8 by 4 7/8. So you might have to adjust the size of your paper for your pockets. It may not be the exact same measurements, but that gives you a little bit of a guideline. And then when you turn it over, we have this large pocket here, so I just added a little bit of decoration and some more stickers. And then on the back, I added more decoration, some ephemera, and some strips of paper. And then this is 2 tags that I just used to create, added a sticker here, added an adhesive brad, and it's an actual booklet like so. And so that then just kind of fits into the pocket there too. So this one is kind of flat. This one is pretty flat. It would be, I was thinking that it would be great too as like a journal insert. You can add this to any journal that you have, and that would be a great place to journal on these tags inside a larger journal. That would be pretty cute to use that too. So yeah, this one's still pretty flat. I didn't add as much dimension as I did on the other one. So I'll bring the others in. This is the other one that I made that I showed you previously, and then these are the 2 beach themed ones as well. So I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial and that it is something that interests you. Again, I just thought it was amazing to be able to get through some of my paper scraps, create a beautiful project, and make it simple, easy. Has multi-use purposes. It can be a standalone pocket journal, or it can be a journal insert. So whichever you prefer to use it for, it's versatile like that too. So thank you all so much for standing with me or sticking with me through this tutorial. If you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel and turning on those notifications so that you can be alerted when I do post additional videos. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for returning to my channel. I appreciate you guys' continuous support. It all helps me and encourages me, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart actually for all of the support you guys give. So until next time, I look forward to crafting with you very soon. And until then, take care. Bye.